start in here with Coach Kenny Payne. Jackson, won't you start us off, please?
Hey Kenny, against Baylor, the three bigs didn't do much scoring wise. How much of that was maybe just some matchup struggles, or do you guys need to find, maybe put a little more emphasis into getting them in the offensive flow and such?
Well, I think the first half of that game, the Baylor game, it caught us off guard, the amount of possessions that they played zone. So we were tentative against the zone. The second half, we realized that, um, we got the ball to the post or pinch post, and what it did, it made them collapse. And from there, they could make passes out. Not necessarily just to score, but just to get the ball in the paint, to get them to suck in and then throw it out. And then you have driving angles if that's such.
Gotcha. And I know you can't talk about individual recruits, but things are going well. Just when you got back with Cal, did you have a sense that there'd be no issue in the recruiting shifting from UK over here to Arkansas?
It's a different day and age now. So it's not like when I was with Cal at Kentucky when, there was no NIL, there was no transfer portal. So now the dynamics of the landscape has changed. But the basic and the principles of what we're about hasn't. This is not just a one-sided situation. In recruiting, it has to be two sides that benefit from this, meaning that the player has to have dreams and aspirations, and he has to also know that we're trying to win a championship. We're trying to establish a winning culture, a championship culture here. And so if we both can meet each other on an equal playing field and the relationship works, it works.
And one more from me, Boogie Fland, another 7 assists, 0 turnovers against Baylor. Him as the point guard, what are some of the keys for a freshman like that to just come in and step in and be so good finding teammates, taking care of the ball and such?
Well, that was a big statement for him to go out and have assists and 0 turnovers. I would say to you that the goal for him is to learn and to learn fast. This is only game two. And him and DJ, who also plays the point at times, they have to control the game and play in a way where they're natural scorers. And being a natural scorer, you sometimes forget your instincts or to score and you don't think about the pass. That was the first indication from us as a staff that Boogie's getting better at understanding I can score. I'm a natural scorer, but I also can help my teammates get better. 7 assists.
Anthony.
Kenny, hope you're doing well. Coach Cal has talked, a decent amount about, not having time to implement his own offense. Just, what have been the biggest struggles for you guys going up against his own defense, and just how have you guys kind of tried to, alleviate some of those struggles so far?
Well, the biggest struggle is we're just now getting players to where we could practice against each other and put things in that for example, it's one thing to walk through a zone offense. It's another thing to play against a zone offense and have, 5 legitimate players to play against it. So we're just now getting to that point where we're getting players healthy to where we can go against each other in live situations and react and see the nuances of the zone. And then, just the time that it takes, you're not going to figure out a zone in the first week of the season, second week of the season, second game of the year. It's going to take time. And we just got to know that and be a great passing team, attack the zone, know where the gaps are, and not be passive or tentative versus the zone.
And then talking about Zavonimir, I know he didn't necessarily have the scoring game you probably want him to have against Baylor, but just how have you kind of seen him grow and develop just since you and him have both been on campus?
I think he's gotten better. By no means, me personally, am I satisfied with where he is because I think there's more in there. The goal is to dig it out and to dig it out quickly for him to understand his role on this team. Really, Z is a freshman. He went to Kentucky last year and he wasn't really cleared to play till late. And he didn't get a chance to get a rhythm into college basketball. So this is his first time. And he's learning. He's learning the responsibility of being in shape. He's learning the responsibility of bringing a physicality to this. And the responsibility of, you have to be the last line of defense and create rim protection for this team to be successful. We need him. We love him. He has gotten better, but we got a long way to go.
And then last one from me, just what are your kind of brief, I guess, just general overviews about Troy, a team 2-0, won both their games by double figures so far?
Tough game, tough team. They shoot the ball well. They're physical. They create a situation defensively where they create turnovers. They got 11 players, I think, back from last year's team. They got 4 guys in double figures. They are a very good basketball team that, we know that we got to play well to beat them. Our length and athleticism better be in play. Our attention to detail better be in play because this team is a very good team. And Cal has done a great job of explaining to our guys that you got to be the aggressor. No matter what they throw at us, you better be ready to deal with it. And we went over the game plan over and over again to make sure that these guys are ready for it.
Bob.
Yeah, hey Kenny, in scouting Troy, those first 2 games, were they defensively man, zone, mix it up? What'd you see from them defensively?
Both man and zone, very aggressive, a lot of pressure on the ball, taking the wings away, denying, a lot of run and jump, a lot of, even when they're in the zone, it's run and jump. 3 guys will just run toward the ball. You better be able to get the gaps quick. You better be passing the ball efficiently. You better be strong with the ball because they'll come at you from at any time, from any angle, whether they're man or zone. And they're aggressive. They're aggressive and they play for steals.
I think Cal said on his radio show last night he expected them to play zone just because, Baylor's was so effective. I get Troy's not Baylor, but I guess how much have you guys stressed zone offense? And I know it's only been a couple practices, I guess, since Baylor, but do you expect Troy to play zone? And look at their stats. I think their opponents, and I know they're not as good as you guys, but they're 7 of 37 on 3, so they've apparently defended the 3 pretty well. Or those teams are bad. I don't know which, or maybe it's both. What's your take on them playing a zone and how well they've held teams down 3-point wise?
I think we have to be prepared for them to play zone. I think that we have to want them to play zone so that we show people that we can handle a zone and that the goal is to get teams not to play a zone. You want to play a zone, we burn you. We are efficient against it. We do a great job against it so that you realize that you got to play us man where we eliminate, we play the style of play that we want to play. I expect them to do that. We expect them to do that. Coach Cal has spent the last couple of days working on the zone, so we're ready for it. At the end of the day, it's how the players digest it, react to it, and do it with confidence.
And then I don't know, but Boogie shot the 3 pretty well the other night, and a dude did, and Z's shot well before DJ against KU. But overall, I think it's about 24% or some of the exhibitions and the 2 regular season games. Do you feel good that that's not who you guys are, that y'all are a better shooting team than that and will start to show it?
Definitely. I think, shooting is more than just the actual shot. It's what happens before the shot. So, for example, if the ball is moving and it's hot, the ball gets penetrated and it's hit the wings, and then it's an extra pass and you're shooting the ball in rhythm, opposed to if the ball stays on the perimeter and you shoot it, you're more than likely shooting a contested three. And then the last part is shot execution. Shot execution is, am I shooting the ball the way I practice every day? Am I holding my follow through? Am I on balance? Am I shooting a contested shot? Well, if you're not doing those things, how can you could be the best shooter in the world? It's not going to go in unless you shoot it the way you shoot it in practice.
Thanks.
Connor.
Yeah, Coach, in the last 2 games, Jonas Adu hasn't played over 9 minutes. So just wondering if you expect him to play a little bit more going forward in Troy, and just kind of what are your expectations of him as he kind of works back healthy? And do you think that keeps or helps some of the defensive issues you've seen like against Baylor?
Jonas Adu is a really good basketball player. He's proven that. He's fought a bunch of injuries. He's getting healthy. We're just trying to bring him along slowly. I expect him to get better and better every day. He's doing his preventative stuff and his maintenance stuff with therapy and as such. But Jonas is going to help us. He's going to bring a physicality to this team that we sorely need. He's going to bring rebounding to this team that we sorely need. He's a big guy that sets great screens. We just got to continue to allow him to get healthy so that he can help us.
And then the other 2 freshmen, I know we talked about Boogie a little bit, but Billy Richmond and Carter Knox have really come off the bench and provided a spark for you guys. Just what can you say about their play so far early in the season, and where they can kind of go from here?
I love the fact that Billy and Carter come into games and they bring a toughness. You can see it right away. They bring an energy. You can see it right away. They're not overwhelmed by the moments. They're both only going to get better. There are roles on the team. If they continue to grow, we'll get bigger. The way we look at it, I would say this, Coach Cal looks at it like I got 8 or 9 starters. Those 2 kids could easily be in the lineup, and they're going to help us win games. If we're going to be a great team, they're going to have to be a major part of it.
Anything else for Coach? No? All right, Coach. Thanks. Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Take care.